Whoa, what a windy day out there. It's Gerald, and today we're taking shelter here in this little cove. And I noticed a funny thing. I noticed there was 5 other guys in 5 other sailboats, all about my age, and sailboats all about the same, you know, a old sailboat like I have. And yeah, so it makes me believe that I'm not the only one out here doing this as a survival mechanism, coping mechanism. Yeah. It's kind of funny, and I can see why there's not too many women out here, because this is some physical shit, man. I couldn't believe it. My first 2 weeks here, my bruises had bruises because everything is smaller, and so your body has to learn where things are, and I'm a hard learner. So, and then when you start adding to that, like I'm talking about 2 weeks sitting at the dock, I was getting bruises on my bruises. And then when I got out in the water and you're adding the motion of the ocean, you can just imagine. I mean, oh, I went to bed sometimes just feeling like like a sack of cats or something. I mean, I was just beaten up. But I'm getting better now, and I realize there's 2 upgrades I have to make on this boat if I want to make this my permanent living, accommodation. I need one, a wood stove. That's so important. My diesel furnace just doesn't produce enough heat. And secondly, the exhaust is right like a few feet above water level. So I had this poor lady kayaker coming by, and as soon as she was right level with the fuel nozzle, the thing just explodes in this big cloud of diesel smoke. Just poof when it starts up, eh? It's awful. And I felt so bad for her. But she gave me a dirty look too, like I did that on purpose, and I didn't, but I didn't feel that she was, in the mood for an explanation. So anyway, with a wood stove, one of the things you gotta do is you can't use the wood that's on the shore. There's so much wood on the shore. It's all industrial waste from the forest industry, and they don't clean up their messes like all the other industries that pillage Canada and are aided and abetted by our politicians. Yeah, you can't burn it because it's been soaked in salt. And what happens when you burn a piece of wood that's been soaked in salt water brine is you produce furans and dioxins, and both of those things are real bad. I mean, I don't know if they're any worse than a big puff of diesel smoke in your face, but they're still pretty bad, so you don't want to be doing that. And the third thing they do is the salt becomes molten, and it runs down to the bottom of your stove, and it eats a hole right through your stove, which these stoves are pretty cheap, so you could look at that as a cost of heating, but you want to be as environmentally, leave no footprints on the water as you can be. So, but you need heat. You definitely need heat. I mean, this would be one hell of a miserable existence without heat. So I've got to do that. And the second thing I got to do is I'm going to get a composting toilet, one called an Airhead. I've read the reviews and people seem to think highly of them. And the big advantage is they're so simple. Right now I'm having toilet malfunctions and probably the hoses need replacing. And I'm just thinking, I don't want to do that. I just want to replace the whole thing. But apparently there's a 3-month wait to get these Airheads because they become super popular and hard to get. Maybe because of the pandemic, I don't know. But yeah, that's my 2 upgrades I have to make on this boat to make it luxuriously comfortable for my lifestyle. Anyway, I'm just going to spend the day here. If the wind dies down later, I'll go and check my crab traps. This is the first time I've crabbed on this island, so I don't know if it's as prolific as Sydney Spit is, but we will find out. And I'll read a book, and yeah, that's my life for today. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.